And gentlemen and children of all ages, welcome back to Student of the Gun Radio. Welcome to a Wednesday episode. We were just we're talking off air that we've got a holiday coming up, and it's coming up in about 5 weeks or so. I guess about 5 weeks, maybe, I don't know, 6, 5, however long it is until October 18th. But as you should know, as a member of the Student of the Gun audience, you should know that October 18th is National Hug Your AK Day. That's right. That's right. So if you don't have an AK, you better get on it. Jared, how long has National Hug Your AK Day been going on?
Oh, it says 2012, I believe, if we research that correctly. It's been 8 years now. That's crazy how time flies. Yes.
And we've got all kinds of, what's interesting is we are featured, I just discovered this by accident, on National What Day Is It? Or What Day Is It National or something like that. It's the website where you go to find out what the national day is. And if you go to, what is it? Was it What National Day Is It? I think that's what it is. What National Day Is It? And if you go there, it'll tell you. And unfortunately, this is the funny thing, they actually have it listed wrong.
Hey, today's National Guac Day as we record this.
It's National Guac Day. But October 18th is National Hug Your AK Day. It will be the 8th annual celebration of such. So get ready. I've got one that I'm going to hug. I know what I'm going to hug. Here's my plan, Jared. My plan, we'll see if it works out, is by October 18th, I will have the Occam, the ODS 1775, completely sexied up, murdered out. And it's going to be super sexy, Duracoated by October 18th. How's that sound for a goal?
I think that's a great idea.
I think I could do that. I think I can reach that goal. But
I'm just looking at the National Hug Days, and there's National Hug Fandom Day, National Hug People Day, National Hug Up on Your Girl When I Pass By Day, National Hug Hungover as F Day.
I think we're getting into the weeds at this point.
But none of those compare.
No.
None of those can compare to National Hug Your AK Day. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we've gotten a lot of people to join in with us. We've gotten a lot of people, in the industry to join in with us. Lynn Thompson hugged his AK. Remember? We had a picture of Lynn Thompson from Cold Steel hugging his AK.
Everybody should hug their AK.
Everybody should. So you get ready. This is your warning order. You've got 5 weeks or so to get your butt ready. All right, let's go ahead and get into the show. What are we going to talk about today? Australian mom jailed over Facebook post. What? Heads up. What should you be buying right now if you can find it? And danger signs. Do not be caught unaware. All of that and more fun on today's episode. Student of the Gun Radio.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies, stand.
And that was a bit of a technical error, so I'm going to fix that in post.
Stand by to fix yourself. Yeah.
We have to play it so that people who are watching live can see it.
All right, we're going to try this again.
In 3,
I'm going
2.
to set this computer on fire.
Do it after we're done.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It is time. It's time. right, we want to have a little bit of fun today. We got some serious stuff that we need to talk about, but doggone it, I mean, we can't ignore this stuff, because if you ignore it, then it gets you. If you just pretend that everything's fun and happy, then before you know it, you're in trouble. But Zach has some music, and it's our pajama party music, and this was given to us, donated to us by our good friend, and our good friend's name is
Michael Gates.
Say it slowly.
Michael Gates.
Michael Cates. Sometimes you're on 1.5 speed there, Zach. Blip, blip.
Well, that's because I'm doing other things. And
So
you
when
throw it
people
to
are
me.
listening to the podcast on 1.5, they actually get 3 speed.
It's like blip. Michael Cates. Yes, right. Michael Cates, musician and producer extraordinaire, donated this piece of audio to us, and we dubbed it the Pajama Party theme. And we owe our audience a pajama party. You guys remember that? So we should do that. Maybe we could do that once it gets a little cooler. Because right now I'm not sleeping in pajamas.
Yeah, right now it is.
It's too warm.
Yeah, right now it is. It's starting to cool down a little bit.
Yeah. We've got some psycho cold coming, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the warm feeling that I get from listening to this music. So, DJ, whenever you're ready. All right, now that everybody's feeling funky and groovy, Zach, that music and Enter the Pimp Hand, both of those are available as immediate downloads to whom?
That is exclusively to our wonderful and amazing grad program members that we love very much. On the members site, the member lounge, that's the term. The student lounge. Yeah, if you go to the student lounge, if you're a member of the grad program, you are allowed to download both of those songs. Au gratin. Not au gratin. What is it? When it's free?
Au gratin?
What is it when it's free?
Pro bono.
No. Pro bono is like a service. Jared, help me out here. I'm lost in the words. Gratis.
I don't know.
Gratis.
They were au gratin.
Yeah. They're with cheese, man.
I like it with cheese.
Gratis is the word I was thinking of.
Gratis.
Oh.
They're gratis.
Yeah.
Not with cheese.
Almost the same thing.
But everything is better with cheese.
Gratis au gratin. There we go.
All right, that takes us right up to our Brownells bullet points of the week. No more pajama party. Time for the Brownells theme. All right, we're going to give you the Brownells bullet points gratis. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. All right, listen up, freaks and freakettes. When I find out stuff, I like to tell you about it. You are my friends. You're people that I care about. And here's what I'm telling you. If you are a reloader, if you're a reloader and you actively reload ammunition, you already know this. I have a strong suspicion that a lot of my audience members are winter reloaders, because that's when, I mean, we got to have stuff to do indoors. It's cold, it's windy, it's snowy, it's crappy outside. And so what do we do for ourselves? We say, well, I'm going to come up with some indoor activities. I got my shop all set up. I got my Dillon press or my Hornady press or RCBS or whatever your favorite thing is. And I'm going to reload I've been saving up brass all summer. I've got buckets of brass and I'm going to turn it into ammunition. You might not be if you didn't get your butt out and buy primers. I have it on good authority from an ammunition manufacturer that we're experiencing the beginnings of a primer shortage. Not trying to tell you guys to panic, but here's what I'm telling you. This is me looking at you. If you're planning on spending the winter months in your shop reloading ammunition, you had better get your butt to your favorite gun store right now. If they've got primers on the shelf, you need to buy them, because the online retailers are out. I checked 3 different online retailers, including brownells.com, which I checked first. And if you type in the word primers, you get the return is out of stock, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. Right now, as I speak, now this may not be the case in a couple of days, but as I am speaking these words into this microphone, Brownells has military CCI military primers in large rifle, a 500 count large rifle primers. Oh, for 50 BMG. Crap. Okay. Well, if you want to load 50 BMG, that sucks. That's the only ones they have in stock. So the good news is, if you load 50 BMG, which, I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? They have those primers in stock. Everything else is alert me when available. Federal, CCI. Now, the 209 shotgun primers actually are in stock. So if you're a 209 shotgun primer guy, good. But I'm telling you, right now, you can either go to Brownells and shop and see what they have in stock. And I'm telling you, they're not going to be much different than just about everybody else. Or get your butt in your car, your truck, your Jeep. I don't care. Pedal your bicycle to your local gun store and get whatever is available. I mean, you don't have to. You're like, I don't care. I don't reload, Paul. Who cares? No big deal. All right. But I know a lot of folks in our audience, their plan for the ammo apocalypse is to just reload. I've had people tell me that, it doesn't matter. I don't care if they run out of ammo. I just reload my own. You don't reload nothing without primers. Would you say that's true, Jared? I mean, unmute your microphone, but would you say that's true? People are like, oh man, I got 5-gallon buckets full of brass and I'll just reload on my own.
Are you going to make your own primers?
Yeah, you're not going to reload crap if you don't have primers, Jack. Kind of an important thing. So, yeah, I discovered, it was about a week or so ago, I was talking to somebody from I'm not going to say who it is, because it doesn't matter, but from a big name ammunition manufacturer. And they were telling me that the reason that they were not producing as much large centerfire rifle ammo as they would like to is because there was a shortage on primers. So, ladies and gentlemen, your Brownells bullet points point of the week is this. If you are hoping to reload ammunition in the future, you need to take your rump to the wherever you can find them. And this is probably going to be, you're like, the internet, man, you can get everything you want on the internet. Just go and get it on the internet. This is not the case. This is going to be one of those cases where you just need to motor on over to Billy Bob's gun shop in whatever and get them there. And you should be supporting those guys anyway. And support your local gun shop. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I tell you what, it's almost like someone who looked like this last year said, go to your ammo locker. And if you don't have enough of what you want, you know what I'm going to do, Jared? I'm going to do a short video called War Stock. And I'm going to talk about the things that you should have in a can. Not practice ammo, not, farting around, shooting tin cans and stuff but actual, no kidding, like break seal in case of war, that kind of stuff. There you go. Now, the good news is for those of you, and who read this book, Gorillas in the Mist, Gorillas in the Mist by our good friend, Bob Newman. He might not know he's our good friend, but he is. If you have the book Gorillas in the Mist, a battlefield guide to clandestine warfare, Bob Newman, he tells you during times of strife and crisis where you can find ammunition. And if you just read the book, and he's like, all right. And you're like, okay, Bob, I get it. Now I know where I can find ammunition. So there you go. All right. Thank you to our friends at Duracoat for being so awesome and producing pretty much every single thing you could possibly need to refinish a gun. Would you say that's a fair statement? That's not hyperbole. That's not the epitome of hyperbole. If you want to redo a wooden stock, if you want to blue a gun, if you want to parkerize a gun, if you want to paint a gun, if you want to chrome a gun, pretty much think about it. Close your eyes, come up with a color, go to Duracoat Firearm Finishes, and they have that. Now, what if they close their eyes and think of a color and they can't find it? What can they do then?
If they can't find it, then just simply send something in, call them, or you could send in an email and they'll get you taken care of. Because
they can color match.
Yeah, they can color match. So
yeah, if you're a company, let's say you own a company and you have a certain shade of red, blue, green, purple, brown, orange, whatever. You have that, and if you guys have ever done any color, for instance, our official symbology, our icon, it has blue, what is it? A blue, gray, and black in it, right? But the blue is a specific blue, is it not? It's like a number 47 or something like that. When you nod your head, the people at home can't hear you.
Oh, yes.
They might
really care.
They might hear a rattle. But what I'm saying is, if you have a company, let's say you have whatever, and your official color is blankety blank, you can send that to them, to Duracoat, and they can color match that. And you can do everything. You can do your mailbox. You can do just go crazy. Go crazy. They're all about not having ugly guns. And that's what Duracoat's about, not having an ugly gun. And if you haven't been to their website lately, go there. It's new. Let's go ahead and, Zach, you're going to remind people what they need to do if they want to get, good stuff, right?
ShopSOTG.com is the perfect place to go if you are a student of the gun. Whether you want to expand your brain, increase your marksmanship, or help keep your family safe. All that, plus the pimp hand brands that you love. ShopSOTG.com has almost anything that an American patriot would want. Education, enlightenment, and entertainment, and we're open 24/7. Check out ShopSOTG.com today and see for yourself.
That's right, hippies. Check it out for yourself. If you don't believe me, I don't believe you. I don't think you have everything that a patriot could want. Well, check for yourself. You know what is not on the shelf in your emergency cupboard? Well, shut your mouth, Paul. Everything I need is in my emergency cupboard. Everything. Really? You go to your emergency cupboard and you open it up and you know what's not in there? leadership. Leadership is not in there. But leadership in the coming crisis is going to be as valuable, if not more valuable, than all the other stuff that you've purchased recently. This country needs small unit leadership, cul-de-sac leadership. We don't need more politicians in our state capitals. We don't need more politicians in Washington, D.C. We don't need more bureaucrats telling us how we should live our lives every single day. What we need is small unit leadership. That is what the Patriot Fire Team is all about. It's about leadership. It's about small unit leadership. And if you would like to participate in a leadership training seminar, if that's something that you're interested in, well, send us an email at info@studentofthegun.com. In the subject line, put the word leadership, and the millisecond that our leadership training course, we're going to do a distance learning like we did for Legion of Michael. The millisecond that is ready, we will tell you, and then you will be on board with us. That is the only thing that is going to save I believe, and I'm not being glib, I'm not being a smart aleck, I believe the only thing that could possibly save the United States of America as a representative republic is cul-de-sac leadership, small unit leadership. Because if we keep looking to the capitals to save us, it's not going to happen. Because quite frankly, can we be honest with each other? The people in Washington, D.C., the bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., they don't see a problem. Everything's golden for them. They're spending our money. They never run out of our money. They don't know what the peasants' problem is. Just do what you're told, peasants, and we'll tell you how to live every day. Just stand by, and we'll send you out a communique telling you how to live. That's not how the United States of America was founded, and that's not the future of the United States. We need leadership. So, and that's what we're all about here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what do we do every single Wednesday? We do a Student of the Gun homeroom brought to you by our good friends at Crossbreed Holsters. Before Zach plays the music, I'm going to remind you, when you go there to shop, use the promo code SOTG18. You're going to save yourself some money. Yes, indeed. Dangerous. My Madison Rising. And we're talking about danger signs. There have been there's been a lot, but there have been two specific instances in the last week or two that are quite frankly horrible. We had a situation, and I don't even know what city it was. Jared, do you remember what city it was? Where in the middle of the day, a guy walks up behind a stranger as his friends are filming it and smashes him in the head with a rock. Did you see that?
I don't remember where that was. Yeah,
I don't remember what city it was, but this is the sick and insidious thing about this is this guy told his friends to film it. So they did. He walks up behind a pedestrian, a guy who's just walking down the street in the middle of the day, minding his own business, takes probably a 2-pound rock and smashes the guy in the head, knocks him into unconsciousness.
This
probably
is
get brain
Baltimore.
damage. Baltimore. Okay, the city of Baltimore. So we have that, and then we have another horrible situation from South Carolina where a man was going to visit his daughter, who's a college student, gets into a minor car collision, a little fender bender. Guy gets out of his car, right? Shoots the man dead, shoots his daughter dead because of a minor traffic incident. And you're like, wow, Paul, that's horrible. Thanks for bringing this down. Well, in both of these situations, we saw people that were taken, in the first situation, the guy's just walking down the street, gets attacked from behind. And you say, well, what are you supposed to do? I don't know, folks. I'm going to tell you this right now, in the world that we live in, you need to be constantly aware of what's going on around you. We can't. It doesn't matter. And then you're like, why is this in, the homeroom? Why is this in the dangerous on demand? We used to talk about carrying guns and stuff and holsters and all that and why it's a good idea to carry guns. Yeah, it's a great idea to be dangerous on demand. But if someone can walk up behind you and knock you out, it doesn't matter if you have an Uzi underneath your jacket or a Mech 10, or it doesn't matter what you're carrying, because you don't have an opportunity. And then in the situation in South Carolina, you're like, well, maybe that guy, he wasn't underwear. He knew what he was doing. How many seconds do you think that father had to react to the guy pulling a gun on him? 2, 3, couple. It would be great if you turned your microphone on so I could hear you, Jared. Please and thank you.
I was talking to my wife.
Oh, okay.
I got a text from the pest control guy, and he's on his way, so I had to let her know that.
Why can't we just record today? Holy crap. All right.
I don't know, Jared, is he gone?
No.
Am I there? Hello?
Hello, you're back now. All right.
Yeah, you faded out. You were like,
Yeah, you said the pest control guy's here, so I get to, and then you went silent for like 10 seconds.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, Zach.
Fun.
We're going to go back to where I said, how many seconds do you think this guy had to react to having a gun pulled on him?
Yeah.
All right. So Jared, I said, how many seconds do you think this guy had to react to having a gun pulled on him? And then you will go ahead and answer that.
Well, I haven't seen this video, so I have no idea.
There's no video.
Oh, okay.
There's no video from the South Carolina murder.
All right.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, we gotta figure something out.
I was talking about the people being attacked.
People
that
being
too,
murdered.
yes. All right.
Jared, just say something like, we don't know, but only a few.
Yeah.
All right. Does that count us in?
All right, we're gonna pick this back up in.
Who's picking up, me or you?
You.
You were going to
Okay.
pick up in response to the how many seconds did he have? All right. Picking back up in 3, 2.
Well, we don't know for sure, but it could only been a few, I'm sure.
So you have a situation in South Carolina where you're in a minor car accident and you think, oh crap, this is, it's going to ruin my day. It's going to ruin my insurance, whatever. You get out, the person in the other car jumps out, starts screaming that you're a dumb effing son of a bitch. And you see something in their hand and they come at you. 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Now you are sitting there and you're like, well, no problem, Paul. I go to the range all the time. I can, from concealment, draw my gun in 2 seconds. Yes, you can. What if you have no gun? What if your response is put your hands out and say, no, stop. But certainly no one would kill you over a minor car accident. No one would walk up behind you on the street and smash your skull in for no reason.
Yeah.
No one would execute you on the streets of Portland, Washington, or Oregon.
We know for a fact that there's been studies on what's called the Tooler drill, right? It's something that you practice. It's essentially 21 feet. And I think the time for that was the average time to cover 21 feet was like 2 seconds.
Yeah, at one point.
The average adult human. Yeah. 1.5 seconds. So.
Yeah, and the Tuller drill was primarily done not for firearms, but it was done to demonstrate to law enforcement officers how quickly a person with a knife could close on them and stab them.
Right.
We did that when I was in the police academy. We did the Tuller drill, where we had training knives, and we had actually back then we had we had wax bullets. You know what wax bullets are?
Yeah, they're bullets made of wax.
Bullets made out of wax. So back in the olden days, I'm going to take you guys back a little bit. Back in the olden days of law enforcement training, when everybody was carrying revolvers, what you can and what we did do, like this was before simunitions and FX markers and all that stuff. This is when we just had to like get creative. And what you would do is you would take a primed 38 special cartridge and you would just push it down. Jared, you remember the little blocks of paraffin wax that you could get at grocery stores for canning? You probably
no.
But our audience does. It was paraffin wax, and you would just take the cartridge and you would squish it down into the paraffin, and then you would load those into a revolver. And you're like, holy crap, you guys would. Yep, we would. And so when you fired it, the primer would drive out this piece of wax. Of course, the wax only weighed a couple of grams. I mean, it was super light, but it was enough that you'd get whacked with it, right? And you knew whether it was a hit or not. And it was only effective like across the room. But that's what we had to do 25, 30 years ago to do simunitions or whatever to force on force. That was before we even had real good paint guns and stuff. I mean, this is way before what we have now. My point, though, is this. We did this, and it was done in the police academy to drive home the idea to police officers that you cannot let people get close to you, get into your personal space. And even if somebody, quote, only has a knife, if they're within 10 yards of you, if they're within 5 yards of you, they can run up to you and stab you right straight in the heart and kill you before you can get your gun out. And when I remember doing these drills, and there were a couple of guys. There was one guy who was really fast. He was a good fast draw. And so the instructor used him as one of the demonstrators. And as often as not, that guy was breaking leather and just coming up to shoot as the knife was hitting him. And many times he got a shot off as the knife was hitting him. And everyone was like, oh, well, good. He goes, yeah, here's the thing. Handguns don't lift the bad guys up and throw them 50 miles. They don't cause them to burst into flame. They're still stabbing you.
Yeah. And there is no draw. You either win or you lose.
Yeah. And so if you die too, you still, you're like, well, I killed the bad guy, but he killed me. So no, you still lose. Ladies and gentlemen, this is some terrible crap that we're dealing with in our world right now. And it's not enough for you just to have a gun on your body. You need to be aware of what's going on. I mean, Cooper came up with the color codes thing 50 years ago or more. Don't let people, pay attention when you're in public. Do not let people get close to you. And for the love of all that's holy, carry your freaking gun. And you might get a 5-second window to live or die. You have no idea. And I want my audience to live. So carry your mother fletching gun. Pay attention to what's going on around you. And there's too many good guys dying and not enough bad guys dying in this world. Can I say that? We're losing too many good people, and the bad guys are getting us. It's time to turn that around. All right. You hear that noise? You hear that noise? Sounds like a record on 77 RPM. That would be George Orwell spinning in his grave. What did George Orwell, what did he give us? He gave us a little book called 1984. He also gave us Animal Farm, too, to explain to our children the dangers of communism. Got a story here from Australia from Wednesday, this last Wednesday. Some other people have said that they saw this on Reddit and they've seen it on YouTube, but this story source is Gizmodo. Jared, go ahead and read us the deets here, brother.
The title is Woman Arrested for Facebook Post Promoting Anti-Lockdown Protest in Australia. Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. Says police in Australia arrested a 28-year-old woman on Wednesday for publishing a Facebook post that promotes an anti-lockdown protest in the country's state of Victoria. Footage from the arrest was captured by her partner and shows police officers handcuffing the woman and saying that she's being charged with incitement. The woman's phone and computers were also seized. The video, which was live streamed on Facebook, has gone viral and shows the police eventually taking possession of the phone that was broadcasting the encounter. Over 2 million people at the time of this publishing have watched it. It's like 18 million now or something like that. It's in relation to a Facebook post in relation to a lockdown protest that you put on just that day. And that was a quote from Detective Adrian Smith with Victorian Police. And he told the woman that as she was handcuffed in her home. The woman says that I wasn't breaking any laws by doing that. And she was explaining that she had an ultrasound scheduled in an hour because she's pregnant. And then the officer Smith responded, you are breaking the law. That's why I'm arresting you.
Yeah. So
breaking the law
by promoting a protest against the government mandated lockdown. One of our fans, let me see if I can find it. One of our fans actually found the post and shared it.
Yeah,
it was really super inflammatory. Do you see it in the story? I don't see it in the story. I see the actual video.
It was the other day when
I post.
Yeah, the first time I opened this, maybe it wasn't in this story. Maybe it was another one.
Did they pull it down? I wonder. But ladies and gentlemen, you say, okay, Paul, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? All right, we were in Australia, or what day did we talk about Australia, Zachary? It was either Thursday or Friday. It was during the grad program. We talked about Australia and something else psycho that went, the toy guns.
The gel blasters.
How could I forget? Right. Yeah, so the Australian Federal Police were just a Twitter. They were so excited with themselves. They were so proud of themselves because they had seized gel blasters. And gel blasters are basically airsoft guns, because in the Federal Protectorate of Australia, it is unlawful to possess a replica assault weapon. So we were making fun of Australia for being super weak because now they're not even allowed to own toys. Yes. And they even set up a 1-800 tip line if you know anyone who's in possession of one of these super scary toy guns. Call them and they will send a SWAT team out to confiscate the toy guns. So there we are talking about that. We're like, and we mentioned, Jared, didn't I mention? I said they're like one step away from the UK where you can get arrested for offending someone on Twitter. So I have the copy. This was actually put up by our good friend Braden Gunn. This is the post that got this woman arrested. It said, details: peaceful protest. All social distancing measures are to be followed so we don't get arrested. Please wear a mask unless you have a medical reason not to. September 5th is Freedom Day. As some of you may have seen, the government has gone to extreme measures and are using scare tactics through the media to prevent protesting to prevent the Melbourne protest. Stand for human rights. We live in a free country. End the lockdowns. So in her post, she doesn't say, grab your rifles, your bayonets, and let's retake our country. She says, maintain all social distancing and wear your mask for a peaceful protest. And she got arrested for that. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're living in a world where the people are forbidden by the government to assemble, to question the government, what is that? Are you looking for a definition of tyranny? Are you looking for a definition of an authoritarian state? We are it. And when I say we, the United States of America is it. We are the last hope for individual liberty on planet Earth. That's it. Oh, no, Paul, we can go ahead and tell me which country. Which country are the people allowed to possess the sword? Go ahead. I'm waiting.
North Korea.
Yeah. There is none. We're it. And if the United States of America falls, there will be nowhere on planet Earth that you can go to escape authoritarian tyranny. Now, they might smile. It's kind of like the cover of Liberal Fascism. You know, he said, the liberal fascists today, they cloak themselves in the guise of for health and safety and for your own good, because you're just too stupid to know how to live your own life. So we, as the government, will tell you how you should live your life.
Does that beg the question that with time, do all nations eventually fall to communism?
Well, that's the thing, Jared. Because here's the thing. They all try to apply the same solution. There have been revolutions in our world for thousands of years. Thousands of years there have been revolutions. There's a revolution in Russia. They had a revolution. They threw out the Tsar, and they replaced it with what? Communist tyranny, an authoritarian state. What you could say what happened in the 1930s in Germany was essentially a revolution. What happened in Venezuela, what happened in China, they're like, oh, these guys are bad and they're bad. We're going to get rid of them. And they replaced them with something even worse. And the reason that is because what is missing? What is missing from all these revolutions and all these? France is straight up socialist, man. Okay, they're gone. Germany, gone. Italy, gone. England, gone. They're all gone. The most free countries in Europe are Poland and the Czech Republic. How crazy is that? Two former communist countries. Two former communist countries are actually have the most freedom. What's missing? A Bill of Rights, a codification of individual liberty. See, because what they do is they just trade one dictator for another one. And that's what is continuously happened. When people get comfortable, because, well, what is the default of man? It's that laziness. It's the intellectual laziness, physical laziness. Well, if someone promises to take care of me, then I'll just let him do it. Of course, there are strings attached. You're going to pay. You will be our slave. And this is the result of the reasonable desire to, look at what happened in Australia. 20-some years ago, they disarmed the people. 20, 25 years ago or so, they disarmed the people. Complete disarmament of the population. You're like, no, Paul, there's some people in Australia that have guns. They have 22 target pistols and shotguns and stuff. If you do not have a gun with which to fight with, to use for fighting, okay, you're disarmed. Can you carry a gun? No, you can't. You say, but Paul, what does disarming the people have to do with arresting them over Facebook posts? That's how you do it. First, you disarm the people, and then you arrest them for making Facebook posts. You arrest them for offending other people on Twitter. Because you can. Because they have no means of resistance. Because it doesn't matter. I mean, look at Australia. They have no means of resistance. It doesn't matter if the people are fed up. Now, the truth of the matter is that if the people en masse were fed up enough, there aren't enough, constables to put them down. But apparently they're not. Apparently the people of Australia are not. And those who are organizing are being arrested for incitement. That's scary. If this doesn't scare the pants off you, say, oh, who cares? It's just Australia. I don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Democrat progressive left's model. The UK, Australia, New Zealand, you name it. That's the model. That's what they want to apply in the United States of America. You want to go to jail over your Facebook posts? You want cops at your house arresting you because you offended someone on Twitter? Go ahead and continue with your reasonable ways. This is real. This is the really real world that we're living in right now. But the difference between us and them is that right now in the year 2020, we still have the means of resistance. We still can say no. We have within our grasp the ability to rescue this nation from the authoritarian threat that it's facing. But you're going to have to nut up. You're going to have to look down and find your freaking testicles, America. Because let's just, for safety, let's just do what we're told. Yep. And pretty soon the Gestapo is going to be at your door arresting you because you offended someone on Twitter. And you're going to wonder how it happened. And this is exactly how it happens. You disarm the people, and then you remove their ability or their freedom to speak. Whew. I don't even know what to say. All right, I'm all done. Jared, you want to turn your microphone back on and talk?
Yep. I just want to remind you guys, if you are listening to this, you just did it for free. Do me a favor. Go to your favorite podcast player and subscribe for me. This is, if you're watching live, this is always released post, a couple days later or the next day. And it's on the podcast player, be it iHeartRadio, iTunes, anything like that. And while you're there listening to the older episodes of Student of the Gun, share it on your Instagram and Facebook stories. They make it super easy over at iHeartRadio. Just click the share button, choose Instagram stories or Facebook stories, and post it there. And this is a Wednesday show, so if you'd like to get the Thursday and Friday episodes, join the grad program at getsotg.com. We'll send you a free book, and you get a complimentary 30-day trial to the grad program there. With the book, if you don't like the grad program, you can cancel at the end of the 30 days or before that, whatever. You can keep the book. We won't take that back from you. So go do that. GetSOTG.com.
GetSOTG.com. All right. Thank you very much for being a member of our audience. Thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. And remember, you're a beginner once.
You're a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.